Gaming monitors are getting ridiculously large, and it's equally awesome. Good after morning and welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, my name is Reese for Peace from KFC, a Wookiee of the XXL variety. And in today's review, I've been playing with this for a week, and giving it back is going to hurt like falling off your bicycle at 60 kilometers an hour straight into a fence face first. This here Dell might be very sleek, clean and understated, but the panel is anything but. This falls in the same line of monitors as the S27 I did a review on, albeit this is quite a more convincing execution of the VA panel. This guy in particular at 32 inches boasts a 1440p native resolution for about 93 pixels per inch, which is pretty healthy and doesn't have any graininess on it at all, to be very honest. 165 Hz refresh rate, VA panel with a 4 millisecond response time. As far as the curve goes, the site literally says curved monitor. I would say this is on the much lower end because, as you can see even on film, it doesn't really look like it's even that much curved. It's very, very subtle, the curve. This S3320DGF does have a much better stand than the S2721DGF for the simple fact that it's rotational on its base. This is really, really nice to have for things like, as I've mentioned previously, what I call the esports intimacy position. You wouldn't need to do that though with this because it's so big you're going to be sitting quite far back from it, but it does help if you want to just turn that instead of the whole monitor base, then you can, which is nice to have. And then it does have a periscope neck with a lot more travel this time as well, and it goes from all the way down there to quite scarily high up here. The bezeling is quite nicely executed once again. It is nice and thin on the edges. It still won't do monitor to monitor, corner to corner very well because of that bleed that is there, but the chin is nice and slim as well, and on the desk it does look, well, like I said, understated and elegant. The port setup is what I would call comprehensive, where one USB 3 becomes 4 with 2 behind the monitor where the other ports are and 2 more underneath the side over here, with a headphone jack as well, dual HDMI 2.0s, and then a DisplayPort 1.4. And you are going to need that DisplayPort if you want to run 165 Hz on the monitor. Now the last thing to discuss is the VA panel performance, and this is far superior to my S27. The amount of color drag on high refresh rate games is maybe 1% of what it is on my S27. To give you an idea of what's happening with that, it's what we call ghosting. So if the frame rate's too high for the monitor's refresh rate or response time, then your colors tend to drag behind, especially where there's high contrast. So if you've got a dark color next to a light color, then it becomes that dark color then drags across your screen and doesn't look very nice. This panel, however, doesn't have any of those issues, and I felt absolutely no need to go near the MPRT. Another thing I felt like I didn't actually need to touch on this monitor was the digital Vibrance. The MOBA and RTS modes on these S-series Dell panels are really good, okay, really good. The color and everything, your contrast ratios, everything on that mode is really good. I do, however, throw it up to 70% on the digital Vibrance on my S27. On this, they're comparable with this, just at the normal 50 points and 50 brightness and 50 contrast. And brightness on this, I mean, it has 400 candela meters squared, which is a lot. That's almost retina burning. Maybe HDR on this kind of panel would be a nice to have, albeit it'll push up the price. It does have FreeSync Premium though, which is nice to have, and the G-Sync controllers sort of react to it in the normal way. I did use it in the G-Sync mode and it was quite pleasant. This monitor specifically though shines in big open world environments. I've been playing a lot of MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries as it's come out in the last little while, and it's something from my childhood that's got big nostalgia pangs attached to it. But the environments are massive and you tend to walk around on a couple square kilometer map in a, well, literally 40 meter high in certain cases mech. For things like CSGO and Dota, the panel's performance is absolutely fantastic. I'd say it's a little bit better for Dota, but on FPSs where you sort of need to be able to see the whole screen at one time, it is difficult to get set up with this because you've got to like play from the desk behind you. The overall value here though is insane. It's actually kind of mad that you're getting a 1440p 165 Hz panel for that kind of money. And the fact that the color palette is so good and the periscope neck has been improved significantly over its other brethren, this comes highly recommended from me. I think Dell at the moment is knocking it out of the park just on their spec and that sort of stuff. But when you look at their warranty, they're even more mad, lad. Within its lifetime, if there's even a single pixel dead or over bright, they will replace the entire panel and do it on a swap out basis for you within 24 hours. I don't know how realistic that is for South Africa, but in developed countries, perhaps you'll have access to that sort of functionality. Bullet point of the presentation is, it's absolutely fantastic. If you're looking for a really big high-end monitor and you want to make that 1440p jump as everybody's sort of transitioning into that, this comes highly recommended. Price versus performance is more than on point. The warranty is absolutely incredible from Dell, and it's got all of the premium feature sets without asking for a ridiculous amount of money. The only thing on this whole monitor that I would change is the way that the OSD is accessed. It's exactly the same as the S27 OSD, but it comes out the bottom right with a couple of buttons. You could have put the joystick there, Dell. I don't know why you didn't put the joystick there. This would have got a 10 out of 10, but because you didn't put the joystick, 9.5 out of 10, take that. Anyway, that is all I have for you in this review. If you have enjoyed it, then please hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I will see you probably in jail for stealing this monitor on the flip side. Yeah, there we go. I want all the attention. Positive attention only, please. Thank you.